Hey guys, Sugar Happy John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Era video, guys. So today's video, what we're going to be talking about is going to be the Ash Magistrate, and specifically level 12, how to beat it, what to do, stats, characters I used. As you can see here, I have a team that has one. I'm going to show you another comp, and yeah, and from there, we'll kind of give you some more information. So let's get another video. All right, and we're back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little mini intro. I just got that done, so I was kind of excited. Still gotta kind of get used to like trying to incorporate it into the videos and whatnot. I want to try to do like the quick brief interview or quick message at the beginning of the video, and the little breakup with the logo, and then actually get into the details of the video. So hopefully I'll get a little bit better into that transition as we keep going forward here, guys. But thank you guys so much for being so supportive of me on the YouTube front. It's been very, very helpful. I do greatly appreciate it, guys. I enjoy this. This has been a very fun adventure for me. So please make sure to like and subscribe down below if you have been enjoying my content. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, let's get into the comps here. Let's kind of show you what I did. So I was curious. I've been using William. I was just curious if my Hakrin would be able to work. I did just build him for my Queen of Tides build. So I was like, you know what? I wonder if I could use the same team there. And sure enough, it worked out really well. So the only difference between my Queen of Tides team, which is Santis, Zatlux, Hakrin, and Blackhorn, and my Magistrate team is honestly, in that one run there, is separating Nathalia for Zatlux. So I kind of wanted to showcase that because I wanted you guys to be aware of this, because it may help you. Because I mean, I know a lot of people are struggling with resources. They're like, you know what? I don't have the resources to build all these 60s, John. I don't have the gear to get them, because yeah, like the whole point of this video is like, hey, this is how you beat level 12. If you're not beating level 12, you're not getting that gear, right? I mean, let's be honest here. Like, yeah, ideally it'd be really great if you could always get that gear and you're just cranking everything out, right? But sometimes it just doesn't work. It's not in the cards. So I did want to see if that team would work, be similar. So the only extra character you'd have to build from a Queen of Tides build would be Nathalia. Now, I'm going to try to do my Tulpa guide maybe the end of the week, and that'll be a completely different team. So I do apologize, but this is kind of cool that I could use almost the same teams moving forward. But let's go ahead and get into some details here as far as like what build I have going on and their stats, right? So if you guys saw the other video I did show up, I pulled up their stats, their glyphs, everything, kind of explained what I did, how I did it, and gave you this basic stats. The reason why I did this is because I wanted you guys to see exactly what I'm running, the gear I'm running, and that way you can gauge from your perspective if you have the resources and gear to pull it off. My Magistrate run, I don't think I've had any that have failed so far yet. Accurate with Hakrin in there, I don't know. I've only ran about 50 with Hakrin in it so far, and I haven't got a single failure, but that doesn't mean that it may not be 100%. So I just want to put that as a full disclosure. I do know with my William build, I have no problems. All right, so let's go into stats here for gear. So gear wise, you will see we've got, what is this? 2 Terra sets and a Raider set for speed. Nothing too critical. Glyph wise, he is looking at, we got him the health glyphs. We got him the health flat stat here because that's the 600. We didn't take the speed, we didn't take the attack, and we did not take the defense, which really I should take that defense. I should go farm that up. But yeah, so that was what we did glyph wise. Stat wise, here you guys go. You can see I've got 18,906 for the main health. I've got defenses at about 1,300. I didn't tweak this that much, honestly. I just kind of just built it and went with it. I didn't struggle with Ash Magistrate as much as I did Queen of Tides. I feel like I got really lucky that all my characters are water affinity, so it made doing the Magistrate pretty easy and lend itself into completion pretty quick. The biggest thing to note here, guys, and the reason why Blackhorn's in there is because of his heals, as well as because of his totem. His totem was going to do the cleanse for us. Where is it at? It's right here. But yeah, so this is the real reason why that Blackhorn's here, is because we really needed those heals, and then he does the removes 1 negative effect at the end of each round. That is huge. So that means after everyone has like a bomb or whatever the case may be, that totem's just gonna go poof and remove it. So that's why we bring him along in there for Ash Magistrate. So really you can bring any healer, and then also if you wanted to swap out your spell to get the remove the debuff spell, that could also work. Is it going to be as effective? I don't think so, but it could be potential. If you're really struggling, it's definitely worth looking into and at least giving it a try, right? All right, so next let's go ahead and talk about Nathalia. Nathalia is not in the ideal state that I'd love her to be in, to be 100% frank. We'll go ahead and talk about her. Yeah, her gear is leveled up pretty good. I use her for a lot of damage dealing, so yeah, I've got her leveled up as good as I can get her, honestly. But she's not in the right gear sets for me. So so don't take this as an example and go, yeah, this is what I want to build. It really isn't. This is not the right gear for Nathalia. Nathalia needs to be in a guard set, and she really needs to be in a curse set as well, guys. And the reason for that is because, one, if you look at her A1 here, deal 100% damage to an enemy and grants random stats up for this character for 1 turn. This is her A1. Curse set will allow her to sometimes proc her A1 after doing an attack. So you can literally get like a couple of these out of there, and that's going to raise her random stats up. Now with her random stats up, with her passive ability, this increases her damage by 10% for each random buff. Also, for each buff on her, she hits an extra enemy. So this means the more buffs on her, the more of an AoE damage dealer she is, right? So, and that's also why I say you want guard on her, because you don't want to have to rely on anyone else in your formation to put a buff up, so that way she gets her extra ability, which her extra ability is going to be this A2, which states that applies attack up and immune for 2 turns if this character is buffed by a positive effect at the start of their turn. Cooldown every 3 rounds. So it literally just means like every 3 rounds, which a round is when all of your teammates go, that, yeah, she can actually put 2 additional buffs on her. So that would be, she'd start with 1, it gets 2 more, that's 3 buffs plus her 1 attack. That makes her do a 4 damage to 4 different characters. Okay. Sorry. And hopefully you didn't misunderstand that. It doesn't do 4 times as much damage. It just does the same amount of damage to 4 different characters, because she'll have the 3 buffs on there plus the original attack. So that's why you really want her in guard sets, because then nobody has to have a certain buff on her. Because the way guard set is she'll start with the shield, and then when it gets to this passive, she'll put attack up and immune up, and that'll give her, the 4 hit AoE damage. And if she kills somebody with her A3, it's instantly reset. So it'll just keep going through and cycling through, especially on those minions, which is really, really good to have. And for the waves. All right, so we talked a lot about that. I do apologize, but yes, don't take my gear as this is what you need to do. This is not the right gear. Definitely want to put her in cursed and in guard gear. Moving on though, let's go ahead and look at her info and look at her stats. Now I currently have my Nathalia built at 3,900 attack, just over 10k HP. Defense is just over 1,000. I mean, we're almost 1,100. Crit rate's at 99, which I really want to get that to 100%. Not gonna lie, it does bug me that it's only at 99. My crit damage is only at 182, which is not a whole lot of crit damage. I really should be bumping up that crit damage number. And maybe eventually when I get the gear that I really need, I'll swap her into curse set and we'll get her stats even higher. But for right now, this is doing the job on Magistrate 12. And I'm not really having any downside to it, honestly. It's been really, really good. Her defense and HP has been keeping her alive. So, all right, next, moving on, let's go ahead and talk about Santis. This is going to be always in the lineup here. The reason why you bring Santis is for the poisons, guys. That's why you bring her in. It's a big deal. She does a lot of damage with those poisons, so that's why you want to do it. Mine is not max ascended yet. I still got to get her down to Ascension 5 here, and that way she does more poisons. But for now, it is what it is. She does what she can, and I'm working with it. It works well. Gear wise, you can see she does have curse set. Highly recommend. Honestly, I'd probably like to see her. I'd like to put her in the focus set instead of this random stuff I got right now. But I just don't have the gear yet. Once I get going and I get more gear, I'm gonna put her in the curse and focus set, and that way I get more focus going on. And I think it'll really help with my comps. So if we go ahead and hit info button, I'll show you the stats. I did end up getting her boosted up to 16,905 health and defense is at like 1165 right now. It's a little bit higher than when I made my Queen of Tides video. And that was literally because I found like 2 cursed pieces and I swapped them out. And those 2 cursed pieces made the world of difference. Our focus, we're at 74.5%, which is more than enough focus. And yeah, everything seems to be going really, really well with her build at the current moment. Glyph wise as well, guys, you can see all of her glyphs are done other than this one attack with resistance. I really should go out and get this. But it's kind of on the lower end of my priorities at the current moment because I'm not using her for her attack. I'm using her for her focus and poisons. All right. Next, we're going to talk about these 2 characters. So when I say these 2 characters, I mean William and Hakrin. As you saw at the beginning of the video, guys, we had Hakrin in the lineup. So I'll go ahead and show you what Hakrin stats are and his glyphs. As you see his glyphs here, he's got everything other than the focus glyph and the attack glyph. The focus one I really should get. The attack glyph I probably never will, to be honest with you guys. He also is not in the correct gear. I'm working on it, but it's not quite there. I want him in not only in his defense gear, but I also want him in cursed gear. And the reason for that being is for his A3 ability here, which is going to be that max health up to all team members. And you may say, John, that only procs the A1, not A3. You are correct. The A1 ability states that anytime you attack with this, chance to reduce the cooldown of this character's ultimate ability by 1 turn. It's an 80% chance. So, I mean, yeah. The more A1s he does, the more A3s he's going to end up doing, which is going to do the most damage for us, right? It's going to do a lot of damage, and on top of that, it's going to be that max health up, and that's what I want. That's what I want him in there for. I want him for the max health up, as well as this 10% character defense rating. Actually, I think it's 20% because he is ascended. But yeah, so that's why he's in the comp, guys. So let's go ahead and I showed you the glyphs. Let's show you the gear again. You know, it's not the quite gear. We got to get 2 more pieces of cursed gear and then he'll be set. So I'm trying to look out for a pair of boots and a ring, and that way I can really get him really shining. Let's go ahead and go to info, hit more stats so we can kind of see what his stats are. So he's at 16,948 health right now. His defense, you know, we're looking at the 2,633 for the defense. It's a pretty substantial amount of defense. I would like to get that higher. Eventually, I'd like to see if I can't push the 3K and even get the health up there. The health, I know he can scale so much higher in health. So I definitely want to get the defense and health up higher. Just not so much because I have to, because he is working well in Queen of Tides. He's working really well in there. He does work. I mean, like I said, I ran the 50 runs with Ash Magistrate. I had 0 problems with him. So he does work in there as well. But yeah, I mean, I would like to get higher just for my own sanity. You know how it goes. Like the higher stats you can get, the better. I think that's the point of these grinding games, right? We're grinding gear to make our characters better. So I definitely want to get that raised up. Focus-wise, you can see he's only at 25%, which is pretty low, but he does still land his taunt quite often on the enemies because they are fire affinity. Last but not least, we have our William, guys. Also, I did want to note real quick, all abilities are maxed out on these guys. Glyph-wise, William is lacking. He needs this defense glyph. He needs his health bonus. Yeah, he should probably have that attack. He definitely should have this health. He's really been neglected on his glyphs. If you guys caught my glyph video, you'll definitely understand what I mean. Like, that's a lot of stats, a lot of percent stats that I've just totally neglected by not having these glyphs. So I hope you guys checked out my last glyph video so that we knew a little bit more about what I was just talking about. Gear-wise, once again, he's not anything crazy. I got him in Terra and Raider gear so that way he's getting a little bit of a speed boost and an HP boost. It's not needed. As you can see, his stats, his gear, I mean, we got 1 piece of gear that's more than +9, but his stats are pretty decent, guys. We're looking at, if we go to info page, he's at 17k HP, defense is at 1600, which is pretty respectable. And yeah, he's not doing terrible. The only thing that's really, really low is his focus. That is garbage focus. It really should be a lot higher. And the reason why I say his focus should be so much higher is because what he really is good for in this whole comp is the defense down on the A3, as well as, I mean, it's AoE, but the defense down is amazing. And then the counterattack and the defense up ×2 is huge as well. This also really synergizes pretty good, and why I feel like whether you use William or if you use Hakrin, it's going to work pretty well, because I mean they're both doing about the same effect, to be honest with you guys. Granted, yes, this is a 50% boost up, but it pretty much stays on your on your team every single round once it goes up. Notice that it is a 3-turn cooldown, and it is going to applied for 3 turns. So that does basically set up the whole fight. So this will give you just a little bit more defense than Hakrin will, but overall, guys, I think they're pretty solid regardless of which way you go, because the defense, yeah, the 50% defense is nice, but Hakrin's also going to give you that max HP. But yeah, so that's what we got going on here. That was the stats, just real quick again, that you can see the stats here. And yeah, that was the comp. So those 2 comps themselves work very, very well for Ash Magistrate. And essentially what you're looking for when you're doing this battle is you're looking for a cleanser, which in this case we got Blackhorn. You want 2 DPS. In this case, we're going to take Nathalia as the main DPS to kill out the minions and the waves. Santis for the poisons on the boss, and then Hakrin's in here right now for just a synergy. I just kind of want to show him off with the same with the Queen of Tides. I do think my run is slightly faster when I bring William in here because he does have that defensive down, like I said. You could also take away the Shield of Mercy and throw in the Sundering Purgatory. That would also help. Gaia's Renewal, I definitely would not remove. It is an extra buff that does help with Nathalia. And even with my Blackhorn being as high up stat-wise as he is, I still do need that kind of additional heal here and there that Gaia's Renewal gives. So it is definitely beneficial. But unlike Queen of Tides, you definitely do not need to take this Water Prison and run that strat for this battle. So... But yeah, guys, I hope this video helped you. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know down in the comments down below what your thoughts and opinions are. Also, real quick, I'm going to leave you with a quick tip. If you click this clearance formation button, that's this one over here underneath the sight glass, it'll show you some good comps that you can use for these for these bosses. Yes, it doesn't show you their gear and whatnot, but at least this will kind of give you a good idea of a good starting parameter to go with. So as you can see here, my William build here is like 19.59% of the average community right now in 2nd place. So it definitely works. As you can see here, there's other ones in here that work as well. I don't even think Hakrin's in this mix because it's just not one of those, he doesn't make anything go faster, but he makes everything sustain better. So but yeah, guys, that's going to be it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and you guys enjoy the video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.